I've been working on a new Pomodoro app, which I know, a bit of a cliche, but I wanted to make one that was mine, of course. It's pretty cool. Been calling it Tempo. And Tempo is unique in a couple of different ways. One is that my broken brain always wants to start on like an even time on the clock, so I added that to it. You can set sort of like how long you want the session to be, and then it tells you how many you have of those until sunset, which is kind of nice and inspiring. Like I can do 16 Pomodoros by sunset. I can start now, or I can start in 12 minutes. But I start now. I have this like unit chart display, so you can like see the seconds tick away in your timer, which I like. It's all like customizable. You can just show digits if you want. But I like the unit chart. And then you'll see really slowly I have the timer go around the edge. I'll just leave that for while I talk. I guess I'm in a Pomodoro now. Bah, I got it. Sometimes the most difficult part of work is like starting. That's where I am right now. Because once you get a little momentum, once you like make the leap, it's not so hard, but you know, sometimes getting from 0 to 1 mile per hour costs a lot more than getting from 1 mile per hour to 60 miles per hour. There's probably some universal laws of momentum and physics there. So I don't know, I wanted to make a little app to, I don't know, take over my phone while I'm working. I really like leaving it in the mode where it doesn't turn itself off, so it just like turns into a timer object. I guess it feels really good to make your own tools, to make the tools exactly the way that you need them, the way that you want them. I like that a lot. I think the reason I wanted to lean into making a tool to hopefully structure more work for myself was that it aligns with my philosophy of the world. Like if theoretically you can write software that does anything, choosing what you spend your time on is as important as the craft, right? The technical engineering that goes into it. Choosing what projects you do and do not do is a lot of times the only lever, the only mechanism you have. Life is finite. So what are the things that, given the current time and the current moment and the weather of the world and what sparks joy for you and what you're interested in now, this week and this moment, what projects align with that? And then if you can tie it back into like core themes or ideas or technologies or frameworks as a way to decide on what you pull in. Like I really like to work on things that continue a thread, maybe from a previous client or a previous piece of work, but like trying to thread something through. For a long time it was networks and network analysis and diagram. Like the first data visualization I ever did was network analysis and visualization. And there's something powerful there to like seeing the hidden networks that underlie everything. I think that's useful. That's a good way to spend time. I also really like the idea of just building things that might help the people around me. You know what I mean? Like if you make like a really good, well thought through timer, right? Like I can see a way that can help people organize their time, especially if they're thinking like, all right, how do I do more things? How do I focus? There's a lot of like, there's a lot of different approaches out there, and I think capturing what works for me and distilling it down into an app that anyone can put on their phone, like that is cool and useful. I build a lot of stuff and just like don't tell anyone about it ever, which is kind of a bad habit. So just forgive me as I talk about some of the things I built and why I built them. And it ties into the other things I've been talking about and reading about lately. Like believe me, it all ties together, but it requires a lot of concentrated work on my part to like untangle the threads and figure out like, what the fuck am I doing? You know, one of the parts I'm most excited about is I made it like really easy to customize, most importantly, add webhooks. So you can have it so it sends an event to your server, like whenever you start a session, whenever you complete a session, whenever you abandon a session, it sends a big JSON blob. But this would let you start to do some like self-analysis around when you do your best work and when you start and abandon concentrated work sessions, and a kind of like meta-analysis. And I've been doing this for a while. I think I have a bunch of years of rescue time data, which is analysis of like which application I'm using on my computer at any time. And I should probably do a whole video on that of like, I can see how I use the computer changing over years. And that's a really cool way to understand yourself and also understand how you interact with technology, you know, tracking. There was a whole quantified self movement for a while that I definitely was a part of. Like, all right, start, you know, Nicholas Feltron report, I could dig mine out. This idea of tracking yourself and coming up with really interesting insights about who you are, and the same way like the CIA might write a report on you, you know what I mean? Like a meta-analysis of where you go and who you spend time with. Like there's something kind of cool there. Turning the panopticon inward and looking at yourself. So yeah, it's fun to make software that is made for your specific type of brain, and then for me, the more interesting part is to put it out into the world as like a test flight beta and see if it also works for other people's brains. Like, the best part of making things is when other people find that thing useful. When someone says, wow, that's exactly what I wanted. That's something I never could have imagined existing, and it exists now. And that's a magical feeling. That's the dragon I'm chasing as a creator, right? A technologist. That moment of creation and joy and service of like, hey, I made a thing for you. This is gift giving. This is like fundamental to being human. Hey, I've picked a flower for you. I made a little code thing for you. Yeah, making apps for people. I guess that's my love language. So what does it mean that I made an app for you?